Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to ZeerTalks and welcome to another video. Now, this is actually the first time I've done a Hilal related video in a while, but a lot of news has come out, not just from English media, but even from here. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk about Mohamed Salah and his problems at Liverpool, and then let me try to translate that into what's happening over here. Um, Now, it's gonna be a long one, so prepare yourselves. Guys, you guys know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bells for future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check socials, or inshallah, you're well wherever you are. I'd say we kick things off, man, because there's a lot to go through. And I want to go through the Liverpool side of it, and then we're gonna get towards the Hilal side of it. Why did I just elbow my phone? Anyway, let's go. So the هذا Hilal. Okay, this is the Liverpool one. So as you can clearly see, this is when he got dropped for the game against Leeds United. And why is my Hilal thing not popping up? Fraudulent. There you go. Now, as I was saying, this is when Salah got dropped for the Leeds game. So they played West Ham, Leeds, and am I missing another team? Sunderland. So they played these three teams and he got dropped for all three. Now I believe he played few of them, but against Leeds he didn't. So yeah, that's what happened. Now there were things that were being mentioned from Slot and Salah, and I want to read through those and give my thoughts. Also, big up Deontay, but brother, yeah, I'll read that later. Anyway, let's go through it, man. Arnie Slot on, you know, Salah being benched. It's never an easy decision because we all know what a great player he is. Well, you say that, but clearly you don't think he's been playing well for you to drop him. But cool, I get what you mean. You think he's great, but he hasn't been playing to the level. I understand that, to be fair. Um, but it is also up to me to pick the team that I think we need today. That's why I made the decision. True. Yeah, let me just say things quickly. Let me make things clear. As bad as Salah has been, I don't think anyone else has been any good other than maybe. And hey, Liverpool fans, you may have to correct me in this, but this is just how I've seen it from what the games I've seen. And I do shows with Reacts, and he gives me an idea on Liverpool anyway. So big up regardless, and go subscribe to his channel, Footy Reacts TV. What is it? Sabozlai, and that's about it, really, isn't it? And Chiesa when he comes off the bench, if he even plays, yeah, maybe he'll have an odd good Gravenberch game. I don't know, but oh yeah, Akitik is another good player for Liverpool. How could I forget? But Isak hasn't been good. Vert hasn't been great, but to be fair, has started to improve. Yeah, and then McAllister hasn't been great. Van Dijk and Konate has been terrible. Kirk has been terrible. Bradley's terrible. Like Allison was injured but come back, so I don't know what to say about him. To be fair, Marmot is really not great. Yeah, yeah. Gakpo apparently is being called Gakpo. So my point is, who really is great other than the few names I mentioned? You know what I mean? So yes, as bad as Salah has been and as warranted as it is for him to be dropped, you can make this argument for a lot of people. That's all I'm gonna say in that regard. Um, but cool. Yeah, okay. I don't know why we're looking at Ferran Torres and Dolphins, but okay. Anyway, we move on to this. Said on Mohamed Salah, we have to accept the situation we are in. The short-term future of Mohamed Salah is he goes to AFCON in a week time. We play Inter before that, so he's focusing on Inter Milan. Cool. Now he's talking about Konate. Unfortunately for him, he does not. What did he say about Konate? Actually, I want to read this because it might link to the team in general. He said, uh, unfortunately for him, he does a lot of things well, but has been a bit too much of a crime scene at the crime scene. He means he's been terrible at the back in terms of giving away attacks and stuff. Today it was a tackle that came from the effort. So he's basically he's basically scapegoating him as well. Cool. Well, at least there's some sort of energy being kept the same somewhere. Anyway, um, Arne's thought on why he didn't bring in Salah. He said we're 2-0 up, 3-2 up. At the moment, it was more about controlling the game. We didn't need a goal at that stage. I brought in, and I mean, cool. But what difference did that make? Because you still conceded. You know, maybe you bring Salah on and then he tries to kill the game off. Who the hell knows? You know, some players actually benefit from that type of thing. You get me? But I mean, to be fair, him being rested fully could have been him being useful for Inter. But then again, I mean, what confidence will he have if he rested that entire time? At least if you brought him on, maybe he gained some sort of confidence, and then by Inter, maybe you get something, something. Who knows? You know what I mean? That's just my view. Um, then this is being mentioned. It's not acceptable for me. And this is Salah speaking. I don't know why this is happening for me. I don't get it. للأسف الشديد يا حبيب قلبي مو. Unfortunately, because you've been terrible, bro. As much as I want to back Salah, because I actually really like Salah, and I actually want him at Al Hilal, and that's something I'll continue on this video. But at the same time, like, brother, you've not been good enough this season. The score how it is, you really haven't. You know what I mean? Then he says, I have done so much for this club. I don't have to go every day fighting for my position because I earned it. غلط. Wrong way of thinking, Habibi. Yeah, if you are the player that you think that you are, you have to earn your spot. That simple. I'm not bigger than anyone. Well, there you go, huh? You even said it. If you're not bigger than anyone, خلاص, you go earn your spot. مو صعبة حبيبي. It's not that hard. But that's just my opinion. You see him speaking out. It's just, I mean, listen, I get why he's doing it, to be honest, because Arne Slot has put this brother in a position in which at some point you do have to fight against what's going on. But again, when you do it, be careful with what you say. Saying stuff like this does not help your case. You get me? It's just, I mean, you just said it. You're not bigger than the club. Okay, or you're not bigger than anyone. Khalas, that means that you should be earning your place. Anyway, yeah. What does he say here? He says, it's not acceptable to me, to be honest. I don't know why it happens to me. We throw Mo under the bus because he's the problem. I don't think I'm the problem. You are part of the problem, but I don't think you are the problem. That's my thoughts. You are part of the problem. You are not the problem. Yeah, the biggest problem is Slot. However, you are part of the problem when you don't help yourself. Yeah. Same with Isak, same with Vert, same with McAllister, same with whoever the hell is playing bad. It's that simple. Wallahi, it's that simple. But anyway, let's continue reading. He says, the way I see it, it's you throw Mo under the bus because the problem is the team now. Damn. Damn. Did he just say that? It's you throw Mo under the bus because he is a problem in the team now. Bro, again, what I said earlier stands. Um, then he says this: I had a good relationship with the manager. All of a sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. It seems to me that someone doesn't want me in the club. I mean, this could be a whole FSG thing, but realistically speaking, I genuinely think I think it's a mix of both. So I think Salah not being good enough is a factor, but then I do think FSG is like we signed this brother to a new contract. Yeah. So what we're gonna have to do is if he doesn't perform, maybe you make sure that he doesn't play because maybe that would force his way out of the door. So we save our pockets. I would not be shocked if they think like this. Guys, call me crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if that's how FSG are thinking. Part of what Salah is saying is not wrong, because you need to understand these guys signed a new deal with him. Yeah, and they have to pay him. How much? How much does his brother get paid? Salah wages at Liverpool. Let's search this. Salah wages Liverpool. How much is he getting paid? So he's getting £400,000 per week. Mad. 26 million with bonus. Well, that's so yeah. Well, so totally approximately 20.8 million per year. 26 million with bonuses. I could be wrong because I just took it off Google, but that's crazy still. You know what I mean? So their way of like, if I mean, because listen, they paid a lot of money for a lot of players, and they have Salah still. So it's like the way they see it is, we just got the new guys. Maybe you get rid of this guy since he's nearly out the door. Save ourselves a good amount of money. I wouldn't be shocked if that's how they think. I wouldn't be shocked if that's how they think. But regardless, uh, Mohamed Salah on his future. Um, we will see what happens. In my head, I will enjoy the game even when I don't play. Well, you're clearly not enjoying it, Habib Gelbi. Again, yeah, Amri, you're not enjoying, bro. You're not enjoying the game. Don't lie to the people, bro. You're not enjoying. I mean, you'll try, but you ain't gonna enjoy in the end. Uh, we will see what will happen. It's Anfield. Say goodbye to the fans. Go to AFCON because I don't know what will happen when I'm there. Anyway, as this guy's trying to say it's his last time being at Anfield in like by the time we get to Brighton. Because I did read something about. I think we'll get to that at some point, bro. That is crazy. Now that's crazy, and that's why I'm doing this video anyway. Well, I mean, then he said it's very clear that someone wants me to get all the blame. That's what I mentioned with the FSG thing. Maybe they're trying to save their pocket, so it's easy to put Salah in the limelight of blame, even though he actually has been bad. But again, because he's nearly out the door, may as well get rid of him early, save the pockets. But anyway, the club promised in the summer a lot of promise for me, and so far I am on the bench for 3 games. All I can say is keep the promises. Okay, let's be honest. If this is true, then yeah, I mean, these guys in the boardroom, pathetic. But then again, Salah, and I said the same thing with Harry Kane. And funny enough, he does mention Harry Kane in this. Yeah, this whole gentleman agreement stuff. Come on now, you should know better. You need to have an eye on the back of your head. You just do. You really do. Um. Anyway, he says Salah. Says the relationship with Arne Slot is broken. He said, I had good relation with the manager, and all of a sudden we don't have a relationship. I don't know why. It seems to be me, how I see it. Someone does not want me at the club. Okay, he said this already. Why is he posting the same thing? And then he says, Liverpool, I'll always be. Sorry, I will always this club. What? Liverpool, I will always this club. Oh, he means love this club. My kids always support. I love this club. I always will do. Okay. So he said he will always love the club. Then he says, I don't know why this happened to me. I don't get it. If I was somewhere else, every club would protect the player. Which, to be fair, to some degree, protecting players is important. And that's something I learned as a Bayern fan under company. Um, because obviously, if you say things publicly, it could cause all the problems, and that's what you're seeing at the moment. I mean, it even happened with Man United and Sancho with Ten Hag. It happened with Bayern. Funny enough, with Joshua Kimmich, Goretzka, etc. Not like I read Goretzka or anything. Anyone that watches me and my Bayern content will know that. But at the same time, there's a level of like throwing under the bus that you just don't do. And in this case, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? So I don't know why I am in this situation now. I don't think I am the problem. I've done so much for the club. I mean, listen, you've done so much for the club, but what are you doing now? That's the question, Salah. What are you doing now, ya Sheikh Muhammad? Tell me. Anyway, here it says, I said to my parents, come to Brighton game. This is what I was talking about earlier. Um, I don't know if I'm going to play or not, but I am going to enjoy it. I will be at Anfield, say goodbye to the fans, and go Africa Cup, African Cup of Nations. I don't know what is going to happen when I am there. And he said, yeah, okay, we don't worry about that. And then he said something about Carragher. I mean, to be fair, Carragher does deserve this maff. And after what I have done for the club, it really hurts. You can imagine, really. I know the club well. I have been there here many years. Tomorrow, Jamie Carragher is going to go for me again and again, and that's fine. Damn, he can hold that. To be fair, and then he said, "I've been at this club, scoring more than anyone in this generation since I came to the Premier League. If I am somewhere, everybody would go to the media and defend the player. Uh, damn. I am only one in this situation. I don't think he's the only one, but he is one of the few. I would say that. I think he's one of the few. Now, this, I'm not gonna lie, I did retweet about this as a Bayern fan. And to be honest, all I'm gonna say, I get where he's come. I get why he said what he said here. I really do. Um, Even though it's hella random. It's very random, but anyway, can I give an example? It's silly, but I'm sorry. Remember a while ago, Harry Kane was not scoring for 10 games. The media was like, oh, Harry will score for sure. When it comes to Mo, everyone's like, he needs to be on the bench. I am sorry, Harry. So he apologized to Harry for saying that's a fair enough. But listen, I get she's saying this in all due respect, but I mean, listen, the reason why I get where he's coming from is because they're both stars for respective teams. Salah is a star for Liverpool. Harry Kane is a star for what at the time Tottenham and now Bayern, right? And listen, I'm gonna tell you the perspective of Bayern for 1 second. If he was to be dropped, who are you really gonna bring on? Who, Nabry, Jackson? You know my thoughts, so I'm not gonna get into that. Now, in Salah's case, you drop him, you can bring on a Chiesa, for example. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. But the thing is, these two are two-star names, and that's why I get the comparison. I just think he didn't need to say it, and it's random at the same time. You know what I mean? It's just one of those. It really is one of those scenarios for me. Um, But yeah, and then I think that's about it, right? Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so that's about it when it comes to Mohamed Salah and everything that he's been talking about. Now, I want to fast forward to what he has, or not what reports has come from the Middle East. So, this is one that's come out. Yeah. Now, I want to let you guys know there has been intrigue in general for him, but this is basically stating that it's difficult. Now I'm going to put to you the English translation. The possibility of Mohamed Salah moving in the January window is extremely difficult and nearly impossible. Sources within the Saudi Riyadh project deny the news circulating in the English media outlets. They downplay the seriousness of these reports, and some describe them as inaccurate reports. Now, why I wanted to bring this up to you guys, because initially I was stating on streams and all that stuff that I wouldn't be shocked if he joins in January. But then I read this news and I'm like, okay, why are they saying this? And they're saying this because unfortunately at the moment as it is, Al Hilal, we have an issue with the amount of foreign players that we have. Now, for those are not aware, in the Saudi Pro League, you are now only allowed to have, what was it? It was like 8 foreigners. Yeah. And then you can have an extra three if they are under the age of, what was it? I think 23, under the age of 21. Yes. If you're, or at you, if you're at 21, 21 below, you can have three extra. Yeah. Now, Marcus Leonardo, he just got up in age, so now he's post 21, he's 22, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why he does not count as one of the names anymore in that list. Yeah. So now he is basically considered one of the adult members in that squad that's a foreigner. Yeah. And we already have the likes of Yassine Bono, Koulibaly, Savic, Neves. Yeah, and Neves is soon gonna extend. The other two that I mentioned did extend. Koulibaly to extend as well. Yeah, Malcolm, that's five. Leonardo, six. Theo Hernandez, seven. You know what I mean? Uh, Caio Cesar, I think he's still young, so that's one that's fallen into the category of the youngsters. Petoulier is another one. Yeah, so I'll still say seven. Um, who's another one that I'm missing out on? I'm surely missing out on a name. Cancelo, eight. Yeah, Joao Cancelo. You know. So again, man, it's just. Oh yeah, and Yusuf Akcicek, nine. There you go. Another one, Akcicek. Yeah, who we signed from Fenerbahce. So because we have them names as foreigners, yeah, alongside the locals like Salem, Kennu, Nasser al-Dosri, Timbukti, etc., Harbi, another one. Yeah. Now because of that, it's very difficult to get Mohamed Salah in January. Oh, and Darwin Nunes, تفضل, another one. Yeah, who just joined from Liverpool in the summer, right? But we need to get rid of some of these foreigner names in order for us to get Salah in the door in the summer. It's not easy for us to get him in January. So, yes, are we going to go in for him? 100% we are. I think Al Hilal 100% are going to go in for him. Yeah. Amir Nawaf bin Saad, he's going to be looking at this and he's going to be like, you know what? We need to have a go at this. Yeah. He's going to be one of those guys, La Asasi in Jibo. Yeah. Because he's going to be the guy that is going to be the market for the Arabs in general. And like basically, he is the biggest Arab face you can get in the Saudi Pro League. Yeah, and we don't really have a star name. Al Ittihad has a star name, and Karim Benzema. And Nasser with Cristiano Ronaldo, as everybody knows. And Al Ahli, you could say Mahraz. You know what I mean? Al Qadsi don't really have a star name like that neither. I mean, they have Ratagi and they have Otavio just joined from Al Nasser and Castillo. Nacho is probably one that I would think of. And they had Aubameyang last season, but not anymore. You know what I mean? So, and you look at Neom, Lacazette, Ben Rahma. You know what I mean? And there's other clubs that have certain names. So yeah, Al Hilal. I mean, when your star name is a Saudi local talent, we could add with a foreign one. And Mohamed Salah, I think, would fit the bill, especially if you play him on the right, you play Salam on the left. You can have Malcolm be the facilitator in the middle, maybe. That's just an idea out there, or maybe even Malcolm be that guy. Who knows? No, sorry, Leonardo be that guy. Who knows? You know. But again, for us to get Salah in January, it would take us to getting rid of like some of these foreigners, and I just don't see that happening at all. I really don't see that happening at all when you think about it. Yeah. Like what? And again, we're already trying to figure out who to replace Cancelo, or like who to replace Cancelo with, if that makes sense, or who to replace the other four with Cancelo, because Cancelo is going to be back into the squad. But then again, Nunes got injured, but apparently there's news that he might be back in January. So now who's going to be the sacrificial lamb? You know what I mean? This is the problem with having too many foreigners and with this policy, but they're doing this policy so the locals can get some opportunity. And even then, there's a problem within the within the. So I mean, even Renard called it out, the Saudi national team coach, about how there's too many foreigners coming into the country, but it's at the detriment of the Saudi local players or national players. They don't get as much minutes as before, etc., etc. So yeah, there's that for you. Um, so yeah, again, I think we will probably get Salah if it's at the summer. If it's in January, it's very unlikely, very unlikely. But what I do see happening with Mohamed Salah in a Liverpool POV, he'll probably remain for the remainder of the season. Now I think about it, because I feel like Arnie Slot's eventually going to get sacked. I think what Salah did there was very calculated. And it's basically him basically saying, me or Slot? Which one is it, Liverpool? You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see. But regardless, he will eventually leave. With the way that this is being, handled, oh, he's definitely. I thought he was going to leave in the following summer, but after this, I think it's this coming summer and not the next one. So All I'm gonna say is next summer, or like this coming summer, safe, inshallah, we need to make sure we get this guy in immediately. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I did tell you it was gonna be a very long one because I had a lot to react to, had a lot to say, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, guys, you know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bell for future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check socials, inshallah you're well wherever you are. Until then, I'm gonna bounce. Take care. See you guys. Bye. لا ما هذه